Welcome to the Warrior's Promise, where we unlock the path to reclaiming your personal power. I'm your host, Victoria Islas, a master trainer, functional health coach, energy healer, and metaphysical practitioner, guiding you through a journey of strength from the inside out. We're going to explore how movement, nutrition, and mindset can help you take back control of your life. This isn't just about fitness or food. This is about healing on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's about tapping into your warrior spirit and using that power to face life's challenges with resilience, grace, and confidence. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and let's step into the strength that's already within you. Welcome to the Warrior's Promise. I'm Victoria Islas, master trainer and health coach, metaphysical practitioner. And today we're tackling a topic that's personal for so many of us, especially right now. Empowerment in a world where women face a unique set of challenges every single day. From street safety to workplace biases, there's a lot thrown our way. And it can feel like we're constantly in battle mode. But that's exactly why empowerment matters. Today, we're diving into the ways we can use self-defense, strength training, and specifically with the Mace, to arm ourselves with resilience and power, both mentally and physically. In this episode, I want to break down what empowerment truly means in practical terms and how something as simple as wielding a steel mace can transform the way we approach our lives. So whether you're interested in self-defense, leveling up your workouts, or simply reclaiming your inner strength, this one's for you. Now, let's be real. We're living in a time where women have to work harder to protect themselves emotionally, mentally, and physically. And yes, I am talking about this shift that we just had in politics, but I don't want to get into politics. But I do want to talk about where I stand in all of this. And obviously this podcast is a signal for that. And so if you head over to my Instagram, sorry, I was actually popping up my Instagram post here. If you go over to my Instagram account, I made it really clear what I'm about. And this is what I said. This Steel Mace coach supports trans rights. This Steel Mace coach supports the LGBTQIA plus community. This Steel Mace coach supports diversity. This Steel Mace coach supports the disabled. This Steel Mace coach supports women. And obviously, this Steel Mace coach is Latina. So I absolutely support brown, black, you name it. I support it. Okay. And I just wanted to make that clear if you're listening to this. All right. So, there's a lot of things going on right now, a lot of hate towards women, bias, and even physical threats. And unfortunately, these realities that are happening right now, they just can't be ignored. According to recent studies, over 80% of women feel that they've had to modify their behavior or habits to feel safer in public spaces. And I can be a testimony to this. And that's huge, okay? That is super huge. But there's here's the thing, okay? There's this thing, and it's called how empowerment is not about living in fear. It's about reclaiming control over how we respond when we choose to build our strength and take up spaces, right? I talked about this in the last podcast about Steel Mace for Women. I talked about taking up space. We're telling the world that we're not to be underestimated. Empowerment isn't just a feel-good term. It's an essential part of self-preservation in today's world as a woman, okay? Now, when we talk about empowerment, and this is the subject I wanted to get into, I want to talk about self-defense, okay? Self-defense is one of the first tools that comes to mind. Learning self-defense goes beyond just the physical stuff, right? It's about training your mind and shifting your mentality from vulnerability to confidence. And when you know that you can protect yourself, you walk with a different kind of energy. Doesn't matter where you walk into, you're definitely going to walk in there with a different kind of energy. I call this the warrior energy, right? My whole website, my whole way of coaching is to empower a woman and to empower and wake up that warrior within. Okay. And women have this over the years, the decades, in history. We've been told that we can't be a warrior, but I'm here to tell you that you can be. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're a woman, you can ignite the warrior within. So self-defense is more than just kicks and punches. That's what we think about when we think about self-defense. It's also about awareness. It's also about body language and knowing how to read a situation. So here are a few basics I'm going to recommend as a starting point for you. So if you're listening right now, I want you to know this, okay? First, let's talk about situational awareness. This means that you stay alert and you read your surroundings. I don't know how many women I've seen that are walking around, okay, and young girls walking around just looking down at their phones, right? This is like so common now because of technology, their phones, your tablet, whatever it is, right? Let's just become aware of what's going on around us. Make it a habit to look around, notice details, and assess who's around you when you enter a room or walk down the street. And I'll use a little example here. My partner tends to look down a lot, and I think that this is actually really common. I do it sometimes too. It's a common thing with women. It's a self-esteem fucking issue that we have, right? In some cases it is. We've been taught to look down. And we need to go against that now. We need to fight to become more aware of everything that's going on around us. Okay. So, that's the first thing I would tell you. Take care of that situational awareness. Be alert. Okay. Then the second thing is there's body language, and I am an expert at this. Okay. So I'll tell you one thing. You won't find me looking down too often. I'm actually hyper aware of everything that's going around me, right? So that's the first thing we talked about. I have such fast reflexes. Like if you come at me, I'm gonna fucking sucker punch you, right? That's the truth. The second thing that I'm really great at is body language and reading energy. And so this is another thing that I will tell women to kind of get into the habit and get into the practice of, and then it's reading body language. A lot of self-defense experts say that predators look for easy targets. And I know you might have heard this before. If you haven't, this is the first time hearing it. Trust me, they are looking for easy targets. So standing tall, making eye contact, and walking with purpose can signal that you're not an easy target. So our body language matters. Their body language matters. Our energy matters. What your energy is saying, what their energy is saying matters. Okay. So pay attention to your body language. Third, and lastly, I would say a simple self-defense maneuver that anyone can try is using your elbows as a weapon. So this is why I love Muay Thai. Muay Thai uses the 8 limbs, right? So hands, elbows, knees, feet. We use it all, right? I must admit something in there, but use your elbows. If someone gets too close to you, and if you strike them with an elbow to a vulnerable area like the ribs or the face, it can make a very effective way to create distance and get away. Okay. Elbows are very powerful, and using them can make a real difference. Just look it up, do a simple YouTube video and look up, how dangerous elbows can be in a fight or in a confrontation, right? Second thing would be obviously the groin area, kicking them in the groin area. So kick them, run. So that's another thing that I would definitely say is that you run as fast as you can if you ever find yourself in a situation like that. So elbows, groin area, kick them really hard and run, right? Anyways, but the more you practice these basics, the more empowered you're going to feel, and knowing you have options to protect yourself can really make a big difference. Obviously, I do not wish this on anyone and any woman, but we need to know these things. We need to know how to defend ourselves if that was to happen. I also will say that There are great gadgets out there. I think it's on, if you go on Amazon, you do a quick search and you put in like self-defense tools or self-defense, or maybe there's a different keyword for that. But by the way, I'm definitely going to make a sheet of self-defense, just a regular PDF, nothing crazy. But for my ladies, I am going to create something so that you guys can actually download and have all this information. And I think it's just this extra thing that I want to do for the community, for my community and for the women in it. I'm going to go ahead and give you that sheet for free, and you guys can download it. And there's going to be a lot of powerful tips in there and habits that you can use in order to feel more empowered and to feel more safe. Okay. So anyways, moving on. Let's talk about the steel mace. Okay. Let's talk about steel mace and building resilience. The first episode I released in The Warrior's Promise goes into that from a different perspective, from a Groovian perspective. But today I want to dive into obviously my favorite tool is steel mace and how it builds both mental and physical strength. This, obviously, I'm going to repeat this over and over again for listeners that are just jumping in. If you've already listened to me a couple times and you're tired of it, I'm sorry, but I just have to repeat this. But, the steel mace isn't your typical dumbbell or kettlebell workout. The steel mace has roots in ancient warfare where warriors used to use it to build strength and technique for combat. And obviously, unfortunately, women were not allowed in these combats in the past. So holding a mace, at least for me, is kind of like rebellious in a way, right? It's kind of like calling back my power as well as a woman from that perspective as well. So there's something really incredibly empowering about holding the steel mace in your hands with that kind of history, and obviously with women's history, right? So here's why I love the steel mace, right? It requires a balance. It requires focus and precision, and not just brute force, right? It's not just about lifting something really heavy or whatever, breaking PRs. No, this is different. This is balance, focus, and precision. So when you train with it, you're not just going through the motions, right? You're not just going through the motions and being thoughtless. You're actively engaging your mind. So you have to concentrate on your form and control, which builds mental discipline as much as physical, right? So think about it. You're holding a mace in your hand, controlling it as it swings, grounding yourself with every movement. It's a reminder that we can hold steady through challenging moments, both in workouts and in life. And I think that's a really important thing, a key thing in this, is that we're taking steel mace and putting it into life, right? It empowers us so that we can live a more empowered life, right? So personally, I've seen a transformation in myself, and I've also seen it clients through this kind of training. So there's something about conquering each new move with the steel mace that builds that inner strength, that warrior, and a belief in yourself. And that's what empowerment is all about. I mean, if you ask me, right? So, if you've never tried it, and obviously get a coach to help you through this. But imagine starting with a simple 10 to 2 swing. You're swinging the mace. You bring the mace from the shoulder height into a controlled swing down and around your body, then back up to the other shoulder. This move alone engages your core, your shoulders, your mind. And after a few reps, you'll feel powerful. That's the truth. You feel strong. And trust me, using the steel mace is a workout, a challenge, and confidence, just all in one. So why does this matter more than ever? Why the heck am I even talking about this, right? With everything happening in society right now, in particular here in the US, it's easy to feel small. It's easy to feel pushed aside, especially for women, especially for the LGBTQIA plus community. But building strength, mentality, in your mentality, in your emotions, in your physical body, is a way to reclaim our own narratives. So when we take steps to protect ourselves, to challenge ourselves, and to strengthen ourselves, we are standing up against the forces that try to diminish us. Okay. And I failed to mention also, the whole feeling small or pushed aside, there's a lot going on with Black America too. And Latinos as well with everything that's going on with immigration and things like that. So I also want to make sure that I add that in because it's important. So empowerment isn't just about feeling strong. It's about knowing that we can adapt, respond, and thrive no matter what the world throws at us. Okay? Stand up for your rights, use your voice, call back your power, and just empower yourself, okay? All right, so as we wrap up today's episode, I want to challenge you to take one action towards your own empowerment this week. Maybe it's trying a new Still Mace move. Maybe it's signing up for a self-defense class in your community, or even practicing a power stance as you walk into a room. If you don't know what a power stance is, my ladies, do a quick YouTube search. I think there's even a TED talk or TED talk on this. Whatever it is, remember that these small steps add up. Okay. So, obviously, if you're interested in learning more about self-defense techniques, Still Mace training, or other ways to empower yourself, check out the resources I'm going to link in the episode description. If you're looking at this through YouTube, you can find it in the description. If you're looking at this through my blog, it'll be in the blog. Just go ahead and check that out. Connect with me at Still Mace Warrior, I'd love to support you. I love to support you on your journey to empowerment. I'm here for you. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Warrior's Promise today. All I can say is this, okay, guys? Stay strong, stay aware, and keep owning your power one step at a time. And I'll catch you in the next episode.